Well, look at that. We are back 2 days in a row. What's up, guys? BltzZ here today, bringing you some more Final Fantasy news. And we got some pretty exciting stuff to talk about. You know, with Final Fantasy 7 Remake being out, when everybody got to the end of the game, a lot of people were very worried and skeptical on the fact that, you know, maybe this story is going to change up quite a lot. And I know over the years, we've had the developers, we've had the directors straight up tell us, don't worry, everything you know and love will still be in the game. They're kind of making that hard to feel that way. And okay, first things first, I just want to let you guys know, I mean, most of you guys know this already, I don't mind the changes. I welcome them 100%. I played through the original game so many times, and so far, I personally like the direction of where they're taking Remake. I like surprises, and it feels like I'm getting to replay the game that I know and love all over again for the very first time. If you've been missing the Final Fantasy coverage and you've been wondering where the hell I've been at with all that, be sure to hit that like button because don't worry, we are back. Let's get this video to over 1,000 likes to spread the hype and news of Final Fantasy coming back into the fold. And of course, hit that subscribe button. I know some of you guys may have left, but we are back and I'd love to have you guys back as well. Only 27% of you guys who watch and love the videos are currently subbed, and let's go even further beyond that because we just hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. Really and truly, I appreciate that. Also, guys, tonight, Friday, we will be streaming Final Fantasy 9 Moguri mod here on the channel. So make sure that you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell and check the link in the pinned comments below for that stream. I don't want you guys to miss that. It's been a while since we did an RPG Friday night stream, and I'm glad to be back doing them with you guys, especially Final Fantasy 9. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's the PC remastered Moguri mod version, so it's gonna look absolutely beautiful and fantastic. Even if you've played this game many times and it's your favorite Final Fantasy game, you guys are absolutely gonna love this and you don't want to miss out on it. It's like going through the entire experience all over again for the very first time. Trust me, you want to be there. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video. This year is Final Fantasy VII's 25th year anniversary, and also it is the series Final Fantasy 35th year anniversary. So it's a big year for Final Fantasy in general, with lots of stuff left to be announced. After the summertime announcements for Final Fantasy VII and the little event that they had to celebrate the anniversary, we kind of went a long time without any news, really. But shoutouts to Sunil. Sunil, Square Enix man himself, has been helping us with getting out these chapter breakdowns with developers of the game on Final Fantasy VII Remake. He's been going through each chapter and he just reached the final chapter, and I think it's pretty important that we talk about it because it gets a lot of insight from the developers themselves. So let's jump through it and see what the hell is going on with chapter 18, probably the most divisive chapter in all of Final Fantasy VII Remake. They do talk about some other things like music for the chapter and whatnot. I'll be linking this article in the description below if you want to check that out, but we're going to talk about the crazier stuff, essentially. And also some things you guys might have questions on, like this one about the motorball. Why was the motorball boss battle added into the motorbike minigame as opposed to being a totally separate boss fight like it was in the original Final Fantasy VII? Was there ever a time where it was a separate boss fight? Very good question. I like to know stuff like this because this was a change that wasn't like crazy, but it did bother me because I would have liked to fight that, you know, regularly, but it did make sense sort of with the way that they, in the direction that they went with it. But let's see. That's a great question. The original script written up by Mr. Nojima actually had the last section of the game go from the mortar ball battle to the Whisper Harbinger and finally the ending. Midway through development, we changed direction to make Sephiroth the final boss of that title and felt that having 3 boss fights in a row would spoil the tempo. Accordingly, we decided to use the motorball as the boss of the G-Bike section just before the final boss fights instead. Naoki Hamaguchi, big L right there. I don't give a shit. 3 boss fights would have been amazing. I don't think it would have ruined the tempo at all. You guys should have kept up with that, man. And the next question is to Toriyama. Whisper Rebrum, Viridi, and I don't know how to pronounce that, seem to represent Kadaj, Laws, and Yazoo from the Advent Children movie. Holy shit. Fighting to save their own future, referencing the entries that appear after using the assess materia on each. Is this true? The Whispers are capable of forming monsters from all the memories that flow in time, and I think that includes the characters who exist or will exist in the timeline as well. He didn't deny it, and he didn't admit it. He straight up was like, okay, yeah, you guys kind of got that, yeah. And then explained as to why that would happen. So, okay, the theory crafters that have been talking about this for quite some time, about this being the 3 main villains of the Advent Children Final Fantasy VII movie, yeah, these are our representation of them, it seems like. Next, the party are shown memories of the future as told in the original Final Fantasy VII. Was there ever a concern that this wouldn't be obvious to fans playing Remake with no prior knowledge of the original Final Fantasy VII? It's very true. Yeah, there was towards the end of here, the party is constantly being shown flashes of what happens later on in the story and little segments from the movie Advent Children, specifically the beginning portions. Cloud and the team do not really understand what they're seeing in this scene, where they are granted memories of the future either. So it's fine if the full meaning behind these visions are not communicated to the player. All right, I kind of don't agree with that, Toriyama. I get what you're trying to say, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, you didn't have to do all that. And the final bit, which is the most important part of all of this, thank you for sharing your memories and thoughts of working on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Is there anything you would like to say to the fans who have been reading this whole entire blog series? Which again, thank you Sunil for creating this. This was absolutely magnificent. If you guys haven't yet, I highly recommend you read through all 18 if you're a big Final Fantasy VII fan. As it says at the end of the game, the unknown journey will continue, and Cloud and his friends will be on that journey for a while yet. From here on in, the Whispers cannot act to maintain the destined timeline, so fans can look forward to seeing what kind of future awaits the team. Some people were still in denial about the Whispers existing or not, but straight up, the director here says that the Whispers cannot act to maintain the destined timeline. So things will change and will be changing, and fans can be looking forward to seeing what kind of future awaits the team because it will be different. Well, various elements will be different. I don't think it's going to completely change up everything. There probably will be some big events that happen that did not happen, or some big events that don't happen that are supposed to happen, if you know what I mean. And Hamaguchi ends it off by saying, thank you for sticking with us all the way through this blog series. The development team are currently working hard on the second game, in which the story moves away from Midgar and expands out onto the world map. And it's not just the story. I'll be working day and night to ensure that the game design also offers an even more thrilling ride, as it's packed with more surprises than the first game. More surprises than in the first game. Think about it, in Remake, we had quite a few surprises, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of surprises. So this is essentially, he's saying it's gonna have more than the first game. I'm not necessarily worried about that, but I wonder if you guys are. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about that. And that wraps up the chapter breakdown series for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Shoutouts again to Sunil for creating this and taking the time to put this together for us. My journey with Final Fantasy VII Remake has been an interesting one. At first, I was a little worried about the changes and what was actually going on, but after playing through the game and enjoying it a little bit more and thinking about it, I kind of got excited at the idea that maybe we'll be experiencing something sort of new, but the same, if that makes any sense. Sort of like a refreshed nostalgia, if you guys can level with me on that. I know that there are some people that are very against all of this, and I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this in the comments below? Does hearing Toriyama's statements about changes make you more worried, or are you guys in the same exact position that you were in before, where you were like, yeah, okay, I'm not surprised. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy news, guides, and tips are on the way, and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.